Well, hello and welcome, and today we're going to take a look, an in-depth look, at one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing segment of the whole Bassmaster catalog as far as tournament fishing goes. Welcome, I'm Tommy Sanders here with Ronnie Moore, and we are going to bring you today the Mossy Oak Fishing Bassmaster High School National Championship. And Ronnie, I talk about fast growing. Let's look at some evidence here. Let's talk about the number of teams in this tournament right here that have qualified.
337 teams have qualified for the national championship. You might think that's a lot of teams. That's because a lot of people participated. We take the top 10%. So Tommy, that means over 3,000 teams competed just to get to this point. So it's going to be a highly competitive national championship.
3 days of fishing, and the venue remains the same as it has been for the majority of these 5 years. Only 5 years for high school Bassmaster fishing, but we are going to Kentucky Lake again. So let's take a look at this really mecca of bass fishing here, Kentucky Lake on the Tennessee River, the final impoundment on the Tennessee River before it flows into the Ohio. And Ronnie, it's always a challenge. In the summertime, you have preconceived notions of how you're going to fish Kentucky Lake.
There is, Tommy. You can do so many different things that you think Tennessee River, you think offshore, deep ledge fishing, finding schools of bass. But with as many teams that fish the high school championship, we realize there are a lot of patterns that will play out. We've seen guys take the title shallow. We've seen those offshore guys. We've seen jerk baits we didn't expect to play. There's been bridges. So a lot of different aspects that these high school guys can use their strengths from across the country to find and figure it out on Kentucky Lake.
Watching footage here from last year's championship, the 2017 National Championship, and you're absolutely right. Like every year it's been a little bit different. I've even saw them catching big smallmouth back in the woods, back in the shallow water, and it never fails to really amaze us here what these high schoolers are capable of. There's last year's champion, South Florence team from South Carolina. This year, we're looking at the leaders from day number 1 here from Natchitoches, Louisiana, on the Red River, Wes Rollo and Hunter Owens, 19 pounds, 11 ounces.
On day 1 of the tournament, we've kind of found a little shad pattern, got on that early in the morning. It's kind of how we've got our bites early on, didn't get too many. Day went on, started grinding it out all day long. We really just started getting few and far between on bites, and my partner came up and he got a good 7-pounder right off, not too long after, and it went from there.
Sun peeking over the ridge, and day 2 is underway in this high school national bass fishing championship. Full field fishing again today, taking off from Paris Landing State Park. You can get an idea of the massive scale of this tournament by looking at the crowd on the banks there. Ronnie, a 337 boat tournament is something to contend with for sure.
Tommy, not only 337 boats, but you got family, friends, spectators, everybody coming to see the festivities. Paris Landing State Park was the place to be, and the day 1 leaders heading out here looking to start early. They get a little bit earlier morning. They were a late boat on day 1, so this early bite's going to be key for them, leaving the dock a little earlier today. It'll definitely play into their game plan, Tommy.
Well, we heard the thoughts of Wes Rollo and Hunter Owens just moments ago, taking this lead. And not a big lead, but a great first day, 19 pounds and 11 ounces into day number 2. Day number 2, very critical. You got to finish in the top 12 of 337 boats if you want to fish on day number 3. That is a tall order for anyone as we follow their path to the spot where they're going to start this second day's fishing.
Look at them all out there. Dang. Got him.
No, he didn't.
No. Is he? You got him?
No. No, dude. Oh, shh. I didn't hook him. He was small.
Today we pulled up to the same spot that we started off yesterday, and they were schooling pretty much, chasing bait, and so we just threw a topwater out there and started working it long, and they'd come up and just obliterate it.
Net. Good one. Net. That's a good one.
This is keeper number 1 coming in the boat for this duo, and it's a great start to day 2 for them. And Tommy, that topwater bait's going to be key. We saw a lot of shad activity. Even with the hot temperatures, this shady conditions is definitely going to be a time they want to take advantage of.
God.
Go up there.
Look, coming up, hitting them now. Dang, get that fluke out. Get the fluke. Oh, God. This is fun. Fun to watch.
Got him?
Get the net, get the net, get the net, get the net, get the net.
You're in here.
Oh, watch out.
Bring him in here, bring him in here. There we go.
Get back in there, look. Get jumping over there. Oh, Lord.
Look. I didn't even see how he ate that spook that good. I mean, he came up right behind it and just choked it.
So far, we got 2, catching them on, top, just finding a little area where the shad are jumping and getting them on top waters. They're mainly sitting on a point, and they come way out. So the bass are kind of pushing them to the surface. Ooh. Just waiting for them to blow up on one, just casting in there, casting around them. It wasn't as many shad here yesterday. They've really piled in the past couple days.
Wes Rollo, Hunter Owens, Natchitoches Central High School in Louisiana, making these rising fish in low light conditions a very important part of their day, as they did on day number 1. When we come back, continue with day number 2 and a team whose name you might recognize, at least one of them.
The Mossy Oak Fishing Bassmaster High School National Championship, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, is brought to you by Carhartt and by Bass Pro Shops.
£19, 4 ounces, all the way up to second place, guys, with 4 fish right there. 19-4, Fisher Davis and Fisher Bissell. Good job.
There's your number 2 team headed into day number 2. A great day for Fisher Davis and Fisher Bissell from Mount Ida, Arkansas. Let's start to think about what might be the connection between these two and big-time bass fishing. You can maybe pick up on that, but let's pick up on what they're doing out there, Ronnie.
Well, Tommy, these guys took a different approach. On day 1, they caught their big fish, the one that Fisher Bissell was holding up, that 7+ pounder. They caught it early, and they had nothing the rest of the day until the last hour of the day. They caught 3 fish right at the buzzer, had those 4 fish, 19 pounds, a great day 1, but they weren't getting many bites, and they're doing the offshore deal that we normally see rise to the top of Kentucky Lake in the summer. And one of the guys that knows about offshore fishing definitely is the guy in the driver's seat, their father, Fisher Davis's father, Mark Davis.
Yeah, Mark Davis right there, of course, known as one of the greatest, well, post-spawn fishermen of all time, but boy, a truly versatile angler. You don't win the Bassmaster Classic and Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year in the same year unless you're this guy or Kevin Van Dam, and Mark Davis was the first to ever do it, the angler from Hot Springs, Arkansas, knocking out this classic win on High Rock Lake in North Carolina. The hallmarks of a great career, and it continues on. He's on a bit of an injury absence this year in 2018 since the Classic, but he will be back and ready to take them all on again in 2019.
And as we take it out on the water, Tommy, we see them struggling, fishing offshore, but this is one of those deals. You find a school of fish, you can knock their lights out very quickly on the Tennessee River, but at Kentucky Lake this week, not a lot of current flowing from dam to dam, not a lot of generation going. That makes finding these schools hard to pinpoint them offshore.
There's one. Yeah, it must not have been a very big one because I went like this and I felt something hit it, but he didn't. Probably. Yeah, I went to reel in and don't. We think it was a smaller fish, Kentucky, because it got the back of my trailer. That, or maybe I didn't let it have it long enough, but it thumped it as I was reeling in a little bit, so I let it down and kind of reeled tight and jerked, but didn't feel anything. But he took the back of one of these menaces.
Sure you go. Oh yeah, that's a good one there. Finally a keeper.
He was swimming towards me because I felt something bump, and it just felt like a rock. So I kept going with it, and I was like, I can't even feel anything. I was, well, it's the first fish, and that always makes you feel better. So at least we get to weigh in now.
Well, Fisher Davis and Fisher B.A.S.S, again, a great day on day number 1, 19 pounds and 4 ounces. You can see how far they've dropped today, currently in 15th place with only 1 fish in the boat, so they got to bear down a little bit. Job 1, make it into the top 12 at least so you can fish on day number 3. That's also on the mind of our leaders coming into today, Wes Rollo and Hunter Owens from Natchitoches Central High School. Got a little bit of a slowdown in that shad bite they had earlier and trying to figure out how to deal with it.
You know, just maybe slow rolling it down there. Won't hit it. I was hitting a bunch of shad down there though. Got him that time.
Small?
I don't know.
You got a head shake on him or no?
Oh,
no, he's
God.
good. That's a good one. There you go.
See that fish get? Like you can see the fish come out the water?
I can see from down here, there's some bait jumping all the way down to that little secondary point right there. Yeah.
There's gonna be 1,000 holes in this net.
Got to the boat and good. God almighty.
She jumped over the net the first time, like rimmed it, went over it, and got scared there for a second. About that time, got it back in the water, and she got in, and we got her in the boat. Day 2 is mainly the same thing, still on the same pattern, on the same bite. We might have made a few different adjustments on bait-wise, but besides that, just about everything was the same.
Tommy, they said that they switched up a couple baits throughout day 2, and that is the case. They caught a couple more today on top water, mixing in a vibrating jig, also a Carolina rig, so these guys definitely trying to take advantage of this shallow, early morning bite while it's cloudy.
Is he 15?
He's dead on 15.
Is he?
Yeah, barely.
When Wes picks up top water, he works it across there, and there just ain't no doubt in mind that it's just one's gonna blow up on it and just eat it. So it's just pretty good. It's been working for us this week. I feel like his strong suit is dragging a bottom bait, Texas rig or a sea rig or something. He's really good at those. He's proved it this week really well. I feel comfortable when he has a bait like that in his hand. Fish, that's a good one. That is a good one. Get the net, that's a good one.
Oh my God, yeah.
Get him. Oh.
Oh Lord.
Number 5.
See how big the mouth is on it. In the body. We might have had a few bloopers today. Both of us fought a rock. He fought a couple, I fought one.
Oh my God. What is that?
I lost the tackle box today. They were sitting on the deck. I just took a big one and just kind of sat it on. It was sitting it on the tackle boxes, and it just drifted off the edge, went into the water. I had to back up and go get that.
Oh my God. I know I'm hooking rocks, but you losing a box.
Losing a box, catching some rocks, it's all part of the high school national championship experience here as our leaders from day one take the weigh-in stage and see how they fare on day 2.
13 pounds, 2 ounces. And Natchitoches Central is going to take over the top of the leaderboard once again.
They would be on top for a while. A 13-2 on day number 2 would put them eventually in second place after another team would step up and take the lead heading into the final day of competition.
16 pounds, 5 ounces. And Pickens High School is going to take over that lead. 34-14, they're 2 a day total.
There you go, top spot heading into the final day. That's exactly where you want to be, and some experience at the top of the leaderboard for this Pickens High School Georgia team. Spencer Childers, of course, was part of the third place team last year, so a little mini dynasty from Pickens, Georgia there. There's the rest of our top 12 who will fish on the final day, led by Pickens, Natchitoches Central, and Briarwood Christian. Didn't take long, but we are here already. The final day, third day of competition in the Mossy Oak Bassmaster High School National Championship presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. This championship for 2018, again, it's always been held here on Kentucky Lake, this legendary lake on the Tennessee River chain. Going out of Paris Landing, Paris, Tennessee. In the top spot there, it's going to be Pickens High School in Georgia, Spencer Childers and Owen Moss, followed by Natchitoches Central, our day 1 leader. In third place, Briarwood Christian from Birmingham, Alabama. That's a big cut, Ronnie, from 337 down to 12.
The top 12 vying for the championship on the final day, but it really is the top 5 separated themselves in the standings, Tommy. The top 5 definitely have an edge over the rest of the field, but it's Kentucky Lake. There are 20-pound bags out there. If the fishing is nearly as tough as it has been, someone with a big bag can definitely take that top spot away from the leaders.
Y'all ready? I'm ready. Hey, just another day of fishing. Okay?
Yep.
Go have fun. Y'all ready?
We're definitely going to start out this very important day by following our leaders after 2 days of fishing for Pickens High School in Georgia. Again, Spencer Childers and Owen Moss. Owen, the sophomore on this team, first year on the team. 16-4 on day number 1, but a big day yesterday. 18 pounds and 9 ounces. We take a look at what they're doing. It doesn't look that dissimilar, Ronnie, from what our leaders after the first day were doing.
Exactly, Tommy. This team fished mostly offshore, though. They knew that early boat number, leaving the dock first, they're going to have a lot of low light conditions. They're trying to get an extra bite, a couple topwater fish just to bridge the gap before they go offshore, because they know their bites offshore are few and far between.
You got a snake. You got a snake.
I don't know, I must have thrown it right on top of it. How did I do that?
Yeah, don't put that thing in the boat.
I had to throw that right on top of that thing. It's just a water snake. Reach down there and get it off, Jesse.
No thank you. Not gonna happen. That's all you can say.
Oh, me.
Give him the plopper.
Give him the plopper?
I'd rather give him the plopper than you get big.
Dang.
Well, just a brown water snake, and as he said, harmless, but still takes a lot of time to deal with something like that, and that low light is wasting. These guys would rather be making some hay there in the early moments of this shad bite out here, and of course that's the same thing that's on the mind of Wes Rollo and Hunter Owens, Natchitoches Central.
Yeah, Tommy, they definitely had an extra 45 to 50 minutes of fishing time at their primary area with those low light conditions. They really had high expectations for getting a couple good fish early.
Wrong place. Ooh.
Another big one.
Ooh. Got another hook I can put on that one?
Take one off the crankbait.
Are you able to put a hook on one of them? Dang.
Take one off your crankbaits.
That's what I'm about to have to do. 5 big stupid ones.
Goodness gracious.
Wonder if a little spoon will work, a little flutter spoon. Yeah.
Where's he at?
All right, 2, 3, and 4 should be a piece of cake. Then the 5's gonna be hard.
Chad.
Well, as it did on days 1 and 2, apparently it took a little while for things to get started on the shad bite, catching up on top there for the team from Natchitoches Central. But they got one keeper in the box now, and it's been a little slow all over because that one keeper has them back to the lead. Let's take a look at our team that starts in 3rd place today from Birmingham, Alabama, Briarwood Christian.
Greyson, Morris, Tucker, Smith started the day in 3rd place. They seem to be getting better every single day, Tommy, figuring out their area and really buckling down. Even though they're fishing ultra shallow in the heat of the summer, they know that there are important stretches that they can catch their fish off of. Definitely working together, trying different baits at different times so they can definitely cover all the options to the best of their ability.
Most of the time when we're on the boat, we do different things, so it's really good to do. Like, you don't always want to throw the same thing, because if they're not biting that, it's not really doing you any good. So we'll do something different, try to get a few more bites. We've learned how to work with each other, get in the net, and flipping, like, I'll flip underhand or something, he'll go out the side, something like that. But we've really learned this past year to work better as a team.
First fish, the first bite of the day, isn't a keeper for this duo, but it's a good sign, Tommy. Resident fish sometimes get spooky with the hot temperatures, but these fish are definitely hunkered down in here, and these guys know this is an area they can catch their limit out of.
You want to go out to Double Branch, or you want to go back to the pipe? We're going to go fish to the pipe and then fish Double Branch and then see what we got from there.
That one is going to keep. Greyson Morris and Tucker Smith from Briarwood Christian School. They're on the board on this all-important final championship day. One fish, and not only on the board, they've advanced a place from 3rd to 2nd, but a lot more movement yet to come when we return. Mossy Oak Fishing Bassmaster High School National Championship 2018. We've got 12 teams out there on the final day, down from 337 teams with which we started here on legendary Kentucky Lake. And I tell you, look at the teams who led first day and second day in this tournament. Tell me they weren't watching this event, the Bassmaster Elite event at Kentucky Lake. Earlier this year, you look at willow trees, big rocks, pea gravel. Hey, those were the conditions that pretty much staged the final battle between Skeet Risha. So I'm earlier there, and this man, Wesley Strader, a Tennessee native, but from the other end of the Tennessee River impoundments, where we're going to have the Classic next year.
When you have a good relationship with the lake, it's always nice to go there because I've cashed a lot of checks there, had a lot of good events. I've had a couple of second places there. Now we just need one of them gigantors. There's another big one. I mean a big one. Get your hind end in here! Go! Boom, man! It's just one of those things. It's the Tennessee River, and the Tennessee River kind of holds true from the beginning of it to the end of it. Kentucky Lake lays out a little bit different. It's more flat, got a lot more ledges. a little bit wider. The bays are a lot bigger, but it's typical Tennessee River stuff, and I grew up on the Tennessee River, so anytime I get to fish Tennessee River, I feel good about it.
Wesley Strader winning that big battle against Skeet Reese to decide the Kentucky Lake event on the Bassmaster Elite Series earlier this year. And Wesley talks about the Tennessee River, something he loved, and he's certainly dedicated to it and a great master of it. But when you come to Kentucky Lake, it's a little bit different from the rest of the chain there, and it seems to change year to year, Ronnie.
Like we were talking about in the Open, Tommy, any way you want to fish Kentucky Lake, you can. You can win it numerous different ways. One thing that was eerily similar is that in May for the Elite, they were spawning fish, shad spawn, a lot of shallower fish. You get to late summer, August, Kentucky Lake, you think all offshore, but those shallow fish stay there for the most of the year. These high schoolers can exploit it, and that's one thing Briarwood Christian, they love throwing those shallow baits. They love flipping, they love throwing a chatterbait, those moving baits up shallow. And they found that one of Wesley Strader's areas really played key all the way late August. Those fish were still there, those resident fish didn't leave, and they had nowhere to go. They're gonna stay there all year.
Briarwood Christian making big advances on this final day, really playing off what they've learned.
Started in this creek and started burning down the bank until we found one hot spot. It was just like boom, boom, boom. We just started catching them off of it. It was a pipe with flowing water coming out of it, and they stacked up in there, and we caught our limit out of that. So,
Tommy, we said perseverance was going to be a big thing, hunkering down and staying in this area. They knew fish were here. They just had to find that hot area. And like they said, this pipe, this man-made spring, so to say, putting some new water, some fresh water into this little backwater creek area, and it really prospered. A lot of fish grouped up right there, cool water pumping out, helped their bite.
we were about to leave and we told the camera crew that we were going to Trace Creek down there, but once they started to idle back out, we started getting on them on that one spot, and we had to call the camera crew back in here to come video us because we were catching all the fish without them.
Yeah, of course, as soon as they left, we started catching them, so it's just one of those things, one of those freak things that just happened, but it was funny, it was a cool moment, but hopefully we can get a few more big ones before the day's over. There you go.
That hot stretch of bank really has paid off. The first limit we've seen from any team on this final day. And like we said, Tommy, it's going to be tough with the top 12. 6 days of fishing on this fishery. The pressure's getting to some of these areas, but catching a limit today is going to be important, and these guys have already done so.
Absolutely. That was a crucial little flurry on the ultimate day, championship day. So the current leaders good by a good stretch right now, Greyson Morris and Tucker Smith from Briarwood Christian School in Birmingham, Alabama. Meantime, let's take a look at our leaders from the first 2 days. Day one leaders, Wes Rollo and Hunter Owens from Natchitoches Central. They have relied so much on the shad bite early, but today it's really not happening like it did on days 1 and 2.
Little smallmouth. There you go. Oh, hey. That's the first one this week. It was at Pickwick last year. Really wasn't blowing up on nothing on top. I just figured something underneath the surface, they'd come up and try to bite. Seems like they're pushing the shad up, so keep it above the, up in the water column, just below it.
Working it back. Got one? There you go.
Might have threw the old chatterbait.
Good 2.5 pounder. 2 pounder.
Where's he got it at?
I eating the chatterbait. Dude, these fish are sketchy.
Yeah, that one had it down kind of deep. Yeah, I got it. You ready? He bit right up there on a rock.
Oh, that's dangerous. You know how many treble hooks we have on this dick?
I don't care. I don't fish good with shoes. I don't fish good with shoes on.
Last time I did that, I got a treble hook stuck in my toe and had to go to the hospital and go get it taken out. Because it was all the way to the bone. Yeah. Well, I was almost.
All right, footwear, no footwear. Maybe you learn to fish with shoes. That's a possibility too.
Top water, chatterbait, shoes, shoeless, it doesn't matter, Tommy. These guys are trying to catch the leaders that we just saw from Briarwood, and 2 fish in the boat for them. It definitely keeps them in contention.
Absolutely. They were your day 1 leaders there with, well, 19 pounds and 11 ounces. They'll need to get close to that today if they want to challenge for that trophy there. So Natchitoches Central forges on. How about our day 2 leaders? Pickens High School in Georgia, 3rd place in this event last year and trying to do the same this year.
It's pretty good size. We have, I think, 12 teams this year. Our coach is Bo Page. He started the club 2 years ago, and I was signed up before he even started it. He pretty much helped us sign up for all this, and if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't be here today.
Hey.
Was it smallmouth or largemouth?
They started the day with the lead. This final championship day was only a 2-pound lead. Never safe on Kentucky Lake, and still struggling. No fish today in 5th place. Kentucky Lake for the Mossy Oak Fishing Bassmaster National High School Championship presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. We know what this place is. We've seen it for years on Kentucky Lake. It's sort of an iconic spot. Now that we know, the research has told us it's an old grain elevator. Railroad track used to run right near the original Tennessee River. We're not too far from that ledge right there, and that's where that building is. It goes down about 3 or 4 stories. Also going on this week, the junior national champion, the young students who are looking forward to their high school career, contested on Carroll County Reservoir, 1,000 acres. Trey McKinney and Carter Wajanko would be the team that triumphed there. Congratulations to them. Let's take a look at another team in our top 5 on this final day. Karns Bass Fishing Club from Knoxville, Tennessee. Of course, we mentioned that's where the Bassmaster Classic will come from to start 2019. And Josh Lee, Mason Sizik, fishing with a bit of good luck charm in their back pocket here today.
We got him at the state championship, I reckon this year, and we named him Richie. He's a little rubber duck we found in an as seen on TV store, and figured, Dad would like to have this in the boat. And we started putting him in the live well. We do it on little wildcat tournaments. If you catch a bunch, they'll start squeaking for you. So hopefully we'll get to break him out today.
And it actually started a little bit before we got there. We were driving down the road, and there was a great big duck on the side. And we were a little bit far away, and I read the sign, and I thought it said, duck not for sale. But it said hot tub sale. So my captain ended up laughing at me the whole day. And so when we went and got this, told him I got a present for him, and I tossed it to him, and I said, duck is for sale.
Yeah, get comfortable up there, buddy.
He rides with us everywhere we go.
He's a good little duck.
Keeps all our fish company in there. Great big smallmouth, baby.
Numero uno.
Nice. Ready? About right here. Took long enough. Boy, I ain't never had a football jig bite like that.
It helps a lot. It helps me know we're doing the right thing.
Stick with it, and all we got to get is 4 more bites now.
And the best thing is we have a possibility to catch a great big one. And we probably will.
Power of positive thinking. That's what the Karns Bass Fishing Club, Josh Lee and Mason Sizik, are counting on. Meanwhile, let's talk about the power of positive results, and that's what we've seen so far from our tournament leaders from Briarwood Christian.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. There's like a
4-pounder just sitting on top.
He just sucked in my jig.
And he went, ching.
Oh my God.
It nipped the tails, it didn't even eat it.
He just sucked in my jig and spit it out.
It's like a 4-pounder sitting on cruising on top. Our fishing team got developed about 10 years ago or so it hasn't been around that long. Like, we wanted to help them out and do the best we could every tournament. So really that's been our focus this year, and it seemed to work out. So, you know, it really doesn't matter who catches the big ones or whatever, as long as you get them in the boat. It's a team effort. Back us up. Here.
Damn, come off in the net.
Hold him up.
That's what I'm talking about. Put it right there. All right, let's see. 23 of these over there.
Tommy, on the final day, 12 teams out there battling it out, trying to some of them trying to catch their first keeper of the day, some of them just getting their first bites of the day. Meanwhile, this team's trying to figure out which fish to cull, and that's a good problem to have, especially when those two are your smallest fish, deciding which one to throw back. They're obviously at the top of the leaderboard, looking to run away with this thing in the closing moments of this final day.
For any of these teams in pursuit, there's 2 or 3 that have a shot at it. It's going to take a magic flurry like we saw earlier for Greyson Morris and Tucker Smith to just put themselves back in the ball game again. This team getting closer and closer. You see with the upgrade right there, almost 2 pounds away from the 50-pound mark. If they should hit the 50-pound mark, that is not going to be good news for the other 11 teams on this final championship day. Weigh-in is coming sooner than you think, sooner than the rest of these 11 teams would like. Can Briarwood Christian hang on?
The Mossy Oak Fishing Bassmaster High School National Championship, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, is brought to you by Mossy Oak and by Dick's Sporting Goods.
We have not a lot of fishing time left on this, the championship day. This very, very most important tournament in high school bass fishing, Mossy Oak Bassmaster High School National Championship, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. And well, we got 12 teams out there today, and one team with a substantial lead over the rest of them. Let's take a look at the 2 anglers that notched the first place spot after day 1. We had 337 teams on the lake here. And that, of course, Wes Rollo and Hunter Owens from Natchitoches Central High School, Louisiana. That's on the Red River. The Red River is a hugely different place from the Tennessee River. Hats off to these guys for really sticking to the basics of river fishing and discovering some new stuff when they got here to Paris, Tennessee.
They definitely had an exciting pattern and something they were really confident in the morning period, but they knew if they didn't catch 3, 4, maybe even a limit off their first spot, it was going to be tough throughout the rest of the day.
What are you guys thinking right now?
Grind it out. That's all you can do, I guess. There's fish here.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, you just gotta find them. Work hard for them. Find out what they want, where they're at, how they want it. Oh, he's a better fisherman than we are, Johnny. He went down just a minute ago.
Let's go to the bridge.
Let's go. Why?
Because this is gonna make or break us.
No, it ain't. Y'all got time? Y'all can come back over here and catch them.
Yeah. Was that carp too? Yeah, I guess so, because there are little dirt spots everywhere.
See how many people are joining the party over there.
At this point on the final day, Tommy, there's nothing to hold back. No reason to keep any chips in your pocket. You've got to try to cash in and catch a big one. At this point, with 2 fish in the boat, they realize a limit might be out of grasp, but trying to catch 1 or 2 big ones will keep them in the game. They know this bridge has played past years in this event and in other professional events. This is a place that maybe they can catch a big 1 or 2 and get their mind right, try to fill out their limit.
I love it when the current's going because the fish actually bite, but I can't stand it sometimes.
Hey, I got some spectators. Catch a 500.
It felt like one.
Natchitoches Central High School, again, 19 pounds, 11 ounces on day number 1. They dropped about 3 or 4 pounds in weight on day number 2. We're still really in it, but right now they need something big to happen. They need a Hail Mary in this boat right here, that is for sure. Pickens High School in Georgia, your day 2 leader, started the day with a 2-pound lead. Still no fish in the live well, but hold on.
Well, that's been the story of their final day. Short fish, losing fish, not many bites on this final day, but really you can take it back to day 2. They took the lead. We're very excited about it, but they only brought in 4 fish to the scales. They caught 3 of those early on day 2, only 1 more bite the rest of the afternoon. So going into day 3, they knew it was going to be very tough, and it just hadn't planned out. They zigged when they should have zagged.
I had to throw that.
The bites they have gotten, Tommy, haven't been the keeper size. They need 15 inches on Kentucky Lake.
Yeah, you start your day catching out a water snake, and then you get short fish, but this team with such high expectations, coming off 2 back-to-back state championships for Pickens High School in the state of Georgia. This team, at least the senior member of this team, part of the 3rd place finishing team at last year's Bassmaster High School Championship. Really got to be disappointed with the results so far today, still trying to get that first keeper.
Yeah. Ain't that good. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's gonna be close.
He fought hard.
Come on, be 15. Be 15, 15. Yeah, he's over. Yep, he's over. Put him in here. Hey, I get the inner bass track. Come on, Spencer. 1 more.
4 more.
Well, that's the unfortunate math of the situation right there. Still 4 more to go for a limit for Pickens. A long way to go with a short time left. Meanwhile, Briarwood Christian here from Birmingham, Alabama. They have been culling for the better part of an hour now. Just looking to upgrade 1 more time, as we say. If they can get to that 50-pound mark, boy, that is going to be formidable. Already in a formidable position.
Nice. Is he still in there? Probably not. Dude. Freaking monster.
All right, keep going.
That was a big one.
It's turned out to be a pretty good day. It's real hot. Figured a little something out with that cold water coming out of that pipe over there. Every time we've been there, we've caught about 2 good ones. So
every time we let it rest, it loads back up.
We've done pretty good. We need 1 or 2 more big ones, but we'll see how it plays out later.
Maybe 1 really big one. Got that puppy. I think that we've been pretty consistent the last 3 days, which is always good because some guys that were in the top the first day had a big bag the first day, and then the second day they just had 1 or 0'd. So to be consistent is a really big deal. And the 5th fish is really relieving. Because by this morning we missed a couple on top water and we thought it was going to be over, but you got to keep grinding for 5 bites. It paid off.
Missed fish earlier in the day, long forgotten, well forgotten, probably by the time that crucial midday flurry came for Briarwood Christian, this team from Birmingham, Alabama. Looking very much in the driver's seat right now. Big crowd here in downtown Paris, Tennessee. And on the hot seat at our weigh-in, the team from Headland, Alabama, the bass fishing team, Gracie Herbold and Aaron Cherry, sitting in the hot seat, waiting for our first day leaders to come up here. Wes Rollo and Hunter Owens from Natchitoches Central High School. What a great start they had to this tournament. But only 2 fish today for this team that started out with 19 pounds and 11 ounces 2 days ago. Great start, but a bit of a disappointment on this final day. Let's bring the leaders starting this day up. The team from Pickens, Georgia, Pickens High School. Big expectations for them as well, but you see that single fish. They currently rest in 4th.
You guys ready to crown a national champion? All right, let's do this. Let's bring in this team. They're sitting in 3rd place coming into today. Greyson Morris and Tucker Smith. Let's get loud for them. And there's 2 really nice bass. Come on up, guys. Bring those 5 fish to the scales. Let's hear it for them. They come up. You need 9-2 to take home this trophy. If it's 9-1, it's a tie. If it's 9 even, it goes to the other squad. Looking for at least 9-2. 18 pounds, 9 ounces. And Briarwood Christian School is going to take home this trophy. Let's hear for the Headland Bass team. Good job, Gracie and Aaron. All right, we got a special presentation for you guys. I'm going to introduce the Director of Marketing for Mossy Oak, Mr. Dustin Whitaker, as he comes to the stage representing our title sponsor. Dustin.
Congratulations. Just want to say congratulations to you guys on winning the 2018 Mossy Oak High School Bassmasters Fishing Championship. Congratulations, guys.
Hey, that's not just a win, that's a total wipeout of the rest of this 12-team field here on the final day. The team from Briarwood Christian School, Birmingham guys winning a national championship in bass fishing. They're walking on air, no doubt about that.
It is definitely a high point in their fishing career already at such a young age, with Greyson being 18 and Tucker only being 16. An awesome accomplishment for these 2 anglers. And not to mention winning a championship's hard, Tommy, but they beat 336 other teams just to take that top spot. It's a massive field and a big-time accomplishment.
Yeah, over 600 anglers this time around. What's next, Ronnie? I mean, do we go to 1,000 next year? Are we going to have to add Pickwick Lake, or what are we going to do?
It's going to be even more competitive for the 2019 high school season. Definitely going to be, you got to bring your A game if you're going to want to make it next year.
Once again, congratulations to Briarwood Christian. They are your Mossy Oak Fishing Bassmaster High School National Champions.